Let's चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयंरूपकदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागररघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सागरललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितमश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरतुषे नमः हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Okay, so we will do shloka recitation. You can repeat along with me. You can be muted. Karpanya dosho apahata svabhava pritchami tvam dharma samudacheta yashriyasya nishitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham
तिचा आवाज येतोय
shaktam prapannam
का येतोय
देहिनोऽस्मि यथा देहे कौमारं परं जना तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर्देवस्तत्र न मुह्यते न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यशाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमानच्छति भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां प्रयापाकृतचेतसा रसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समादो न विधीयते प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणैर्कर्माणि सर्वशः कारणमूढात्मा कर्ताहमिति मन्यते एवं परम्परा प्राप्तो इमं राजऋषयो विदुः सकाले नेह माता योगो नष्टपरन्तपः परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्मसंस्थापनार्थाय सम्भवामि जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं योगिति तत्त्वतो देहं पुनर्जन्म नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन त्वद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदुःखम् ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनयेव ते आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते भवान् भोक्तारां यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति योगिनामपि सर्वेषाम् अज्ञातेनान्तरात्मना श्रद्धावान् भजति यो मां समे युक्ततमो मतः So, in the last class, we discussed about the contrast between Sakama Karma and Nishkama Karma Yoga. Initially, Krishna encourages Arjuna to fight war so that he will attain happiness either by winning the war and getting the kingdom or by going to heaven, even if he is defeated. And if he does also, yeah, so, and he tells if you do your dharma as a kshatriya, you will you will go to heaven. And then he says how that if you don't do your duty, you will get sin, and then you will be dishonored. Means people will think bad of you. The Kauravas also will insult you. Even Bhishma Dev, they also will insult you. So like that, uh, Krishna says, and then he encourages Arjuna to fight. But then Krishna again says that based on the knowledge of Sankhya, you be equipoised and then fight. Then Krishna says, I am going to now explain to you about Nishkama Karma Yoga, which is application of the Atmagyan. So then he says that, then he starts explaining the contrast between Sakama Karma and Nishkama Karma Yoga. It's like fighting for the sake of kingdom or going to heaven or fighting as a duty. So what is the difference? So then he says Nishkama Karma Yoga, yeah, so the Neha Bikramana Shwasti verse, it first it says the results in Nishkama Karma Yoga are permanent. So the purification and the realization of Atmagyan, they are permanent. Whereas in Sakama Karma, the heavenly enjoyment, they are temporary. And the purpose, in Nishkama Karma Yoga, one has a constant purpose, like the duty of a Kshatriya. But initially, uh, the purpose in Sakama Karma is always changing. They want to do happiness, but what gives me happiness? That conception always keeps on changing. Initially, Arjuna, let's say he fights the war and he wins the kingdom. Then the purpose changes. No, he wants to enjoy the kingdom instead of uh, being a dutiful king and looking for the welfare of citizens. So that is Sakam Karma. And endeavor is like no normal. Means Nishkam Karma, it's a normal life. Means you just have to change the consciousness. It's not a complicated life, but that verse, no, Yamimam Pushpitam Bacham Pravadanti Avipashita. So then they have to do huge yajnas, no, to attain that heavenly planets and all. Let's say Arjuna, oh, war is over, so then he wants to go to heaven, so he has to perform a big yajna and all. So like that. Then the conception of happiness also. They think that the getting material things is only happiness. So that is a very limited conception. But Nishkam Karma Yoga, the conception is very elevated and very refined. No, you have to get Brahman realization or liberation. You have to be freed from your karma. So that is their conception of happiness. And the state of mind in Sakam Karma, it is always distracted. And in Nishkam Karma Yoga, it is always focused. That Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktana. So that words. So even like even like purpose, like lack of purpose is also a problem, and even lack of focus is also a problem. Means that time Arjuna Krishna need not explain that no, why being a lack of purpose is a problem in Sakama Karma, and why just being distracted all constantly is a problem. It's understood. But nowadays we need to explain to people that how being focus, lack of focus is a problem. How having lack of purpose is also a problem. So that somebody can be muted. Yeah. So there is a Harvard University research which says that the youth who don't have purpose are prone to twice the rates of anxiety and depression in teenagers. And also there are studies which show that every 3 minutes an average employee they are prone to distraction, and it takes them 23 minutes again to come to again the flow of work. So it's a lot of loss of time and resource. And this is there is also a difference between Sakama Karma and materialistic life, which Prabhupada also explains and tells the benefit of Sakama Karma over materialistic life. So materialistic life, there is no faith in Vedas, but in Sakama Karma, there is faith in Vedas. And in materialistic life, there is no knowledge of Atma, but in Sakama Karma, there is knowledge of Atma. And in materialistic life, there is no belief in karma. And Sakama Karma, there is they believe in karma, reincarnation, and all. And materialistic life, they don't follow Vedas, but Sakama Karma is a more technical word. Karma Kanda generally refers to the section of Vedas which know describe about this yajnas and all, which are related to Sakama Karma. But Sakama Karma is a more appropriate one, which our acharyas use. But Karma Kanda also some recent our acharyas also have used, so that also is okay. But Sakama Karma word is a more traditional word. So they follow Vedas, but they follow for a materialistic purpose. Okay. Okay, so today who will recite? Who want to read? Somebody.
Can I read?
Rosie, I think you have read, no? Last
Yeah,
time
I
you
have
have
read
read.
two.
I
Last
think
time I didn't read.
no,
Prior to that, I read.
no Avatar Chaitan Prabhu read, I think, last time. So yes, Prabhu. I think Vaikuntha Bihari Prabhu can read. Okay. Yes.
I can read.
Yes, yes.
Tregu-
Yeah,
Trigunya
I'll recite
Vishya.
first. I'll
Yeah.
recite first, then Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna
Trigunya Vishya Veda Nistrigunya Bhavarjuna.
Nirdvandvo Nityasattvasto Niryogakshema Atmavan.
Nirdvando Nitya Satyavasto Niryoksham Mahatmavan.
Okay.
I can't see properly because light is not sufficient.
Right. Okay, I'll try to zoom, but I'll try to zoom next time. Yeah, next look. Okay, the translation says now, like Krishna has contrasted Sakama Karma and Nishkama Karma. Now, in next few verses, Krishna is encouraging Arjuna that he should do Nishkama Karma, means he should fight as a duty. And Krishna is also describing on how to perform that Nishkama Karma. Because both Sakama Karma and Nishkama Karma have to be done based on Vedas only. Is the actions are similar, but the consciousness is different. So Krishna tells how that consciousness should be. Okay, the translation is the Vedas deal mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes, be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So Arjuna is asking means if the Vedas are filled with so many temptations and give so many material benefits, how should I follow Vedas and also realize Atmagyan? Yeah, because even to do, let's say, fight or no, to do some nitya karmas like doing the five types of Panchamaha Yajna and all. For these also they have to consult Vedas. But no, Vedas have been filled with so many temptations. So how to do that? So further Krishna is telling Nirdvando, Nitya Sattvasan, Niryoga, and Nirshema. So that I will read mostly purport because they're very small today. And we will not go through entire purports. All material activities, I think this purport can be read. Rosie, you can read the purport.
All material activities involve action, reaction in the three modes of material nature. They are meant for the fruitive results which cause bondage in the material world. The Vedas deal mostly with the fruitive activities to gradually elevate the general public from the field of sense gratification to a position on the transcendental plane. Arjuna, as a student and friend of Lord Krishna, is advised to raise himself to the transcendental position of Vedanta philosophy, where in the beginning there is Brahma Jigyasa or questions on the supreme transcendence.
Yeah.
All the living entities who are in the material world are struggling very hard for existence For them, the Lord, after creation of the material world, gave the Vedic wisdom advising how to live and get rid of the material entanglement. When the activities for the sense gratification, namely the Karma Kanda chapter, uh, are finished, then the chances for spiritual realization is offered in the form of the Upanishads, which are part of direct different Vedas, as the Bhagavad Gita is a part of the fifth Veda, namely the Mahabharata. The Upanishads mark the beginning of transcendental life.
As long as the material body.
As long as the material body exists, there are actions and reactions in the material mode. One has to learn tolerance in the face of dualities such as happiness and distress, or cold and warmth, and by tolerating such dualities, become free from anxieties regarding gain and loss. This transcendental position is achieved in full Krishna consciousness when one is fully dependent on the goodwill of Krishna.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So initially Prabhupada told that's what the Karmakanda section has a particular purpose to bring people to the transcendental plane. So the purpose can be more easily fulfilled by focusing directly on the Upanishads, which are also part of Vedas. And then Prabhupada told the dualities have to be tolerated, etc. The solution is nirdvando, means don't get carried away by dualities. As we saw in the Matra Sparshast Kaunteya verse, that based on the Atma Gyan, having a higher purpose as doing our duty, so one can tolerate the dualities one encounters. Dualities can be honor, dishonor, success, failure, gain and loss, happiness, distress. So like these dualities, they can tolerate. They should tolerate based on the Atma Gyan and being with a purpose to focus on the duty. Nitya Sattvasto means always be situated in transcendental knowledge. So always focus on the transcendental knowledge. Means while performing the rites, rituals given in Vedas, focus on the transcendental knowledge, which is Upanishads. Nir-yoga and nir-shema. Nir-yoga means don't increase your material needs, and nir-shema means don't take too much anxiety about material assets, relationships, and responsibilities. So focus on be anxious to advance spiritually. That should be a greater anxiety than the anxiety for securing and protecting material things and all these things. Yes, Sakama karma is greatly prominent in society. We see the situation that is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, how people were worshipping so many gods, the Manasa, and they were performing marriages, and they were performing marriages of pets. So it was great. You see in Kumbh Mela also, so many people come. So it's all like the Sakama karma only. Or the demigod play Tirthas, like so these are all like that. Like Vaishno Devi and like that. There are different things. Like they celebrate Durga Puja and even Ganesh Chaturthi, Mumbai. So these are all some kind of Sakama karma, not exactly also. So Sakama karma involves Nitya karma. Nitya karmas means like for Brahmanas, they have to do every day Sandhya Vandan. And in the Vedic times, the every grahastha is supposed to perform the Panchamaha Yajna. Panchamaha Yajna means there is Yajna for demigods, and Yajna for sages means you have to read the scriptures written by sages, and honoring the guests, and taking care of the other living entities, that is Bhuta Yajna. And, yeah, charity or one more is there. Yeah, so that is the Panchamaha Yajna. So that is so there are some like Nitya Karma also, like taking bath and all this, like honoring guests. So these are all Nitya Karmas. Naimitika karma means in a specific times they have to be followed, like Ekadashi. Ekadashi, uh, even from karma point of view, also Ekadashi has to be followed. But the perspectives are different. In a Bhakti perspectives are different for Ekadashi. Madhava Tithi and all. That is Bhakti perspective. Then they have to do their Varnashrama duties as per their Varna, as per their Ashrama. They have to carry on responsibilities. And Sakama Karma, they also do Kamya Karmas. Like they do some this Jyotistama sacrifices. That is basically to sacrifices to go to heavenly planets. Like that, there are specific yajnas. If they want more wealth, there is specific yajna. So like that, there are recent in last or before last class we saw that document. If you donate this, you will get this. If you donate this, you will get this. So like that also they do. But Nishkam Karma, their focus is mainly Nitya Karma, Naimitik Karma, and Varnashrama Dharma. In the, with a perspective of with a paradigm of being dutiful. But even the Sakama Karma, they even do Nitya Karma and Naimitik Karma also. They may do with a fruity mentality. Yeah, if you do Sandhya one, then you will get this benefit. If you worship a guest, there is a lot of fruitive benefits. So their focus may be on that. Okay. So Krishna told these things Arjuna has to keep in mind while performing Nishkama Karma. Okay. Now next shloka. Yavan arte udapane sarvata
यावन
sampludotke
यावन अर्थे उदापने सर्वतः संप्लुतोदुके
तावन् सर्वेषु वेदेषु
तावन
ब्राह्मणस्य विजानता.
सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्रह्मण्यस्य विज्ञानथा.
The translation is all purposes served by a small well can at once served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, the purpose of the Vedas can be served by one who knows the purpose behind them. So in the Vedas, so yeah, there is a two section of the Vedas. One is Purva Mimamsa and then another is Uttara Mimamsa. So Purva Mimamsa is about doing Karma Kanda and Uttara Mimamsa is Vedanta. The Vedas also generally there are four kinds of sections in Vedas. One is Brahmanas. Brahmanas are about how to perform different sacrifices. In Aranyakas, they consist of duties of Vanaprasthas and Sannyasis. And Samhitas are like prayer, invocation prayers and glorification prayers of demigods. And then there is Upanishads. So the Upanishads, they form the Uttar Mimamsa and they focus on Atmagyan, detaching from the material world, all those things. And Purva Mimamsa, they focus on how to do Nitya Karmas and different Kamya Karmas they tell. Okay, so the purport is the rituals and sacrifices mentioned in the Karma Kanda section of the Vedas, Vedic literature, are meant to encourage gradual development of self-realization. And the purpose of self-realization is clearly stated in the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to know Lord Krishna, the primeval cause of everything. So self-realization means understanding Krishna and one's relationship with him. Okay. So what Krishna, the point Krishna wants to make is the purpose of Karma Kanda is to take one to transcendental platform and self-realization. So if you know the purpose, then you can directly focus on that purpose. So Karma Kanda also they want to become happy, but that happiness can be achieved by directly focusing on Atmagyan. So that is a better happiness. through karma kanda, initially they get material happiness, and slowly, slowly it takes so many lifetimes to realize and come to Atmagyan. So instead of if they just do their duties with focus on Atmagyan, they will immediately get that happiness. So generally the material enjoyment is like, these are the three characteristics of material enjoyment. It's always mixed with suffering, and there is no full satisfaction, and always it increases the attachment. Like earning wealth needs lot of work, and to maintain that wealth, to protect that wealth. So one has to invest, or one has to purchase some property and safeguard that property from others. Others may claim that property. So a lot of hard work is needed, and has to maintain the property so that its value does not decrease like that. And there is no full satisfaction. So one has let's say 20 lakhs package, they want to have 30 lakhs package. They are living in a 2 BHK, they want to have 3 BHK, they want to have duplex. So there is no satisfaction, and always attachment increases, and that's what they want to have more things and some other things also. If they have a good flat, they want to have a good car. So many things they want to travel for, and like that attachment. Okay, karma kanda and no social culture.
Karma kanda
No, no,
involves worship.
I'll no, no,
Oh,
this
sorry,
is my
sorry.
notes. Yeah. So karma kanda. So how karma kanda leads to gradual development of self-realization, because it involves worship of Vishnu. Like this, if you sometimes attend the yajna, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surya Diva Chakshura Tatam Tadvipraso Panyavo Jagruvasam Sasamindate Vishnu Yat Padamam Padam. This and Purusha Sukta prayers. These are all like they are like glorification of Vishnu. So by this they get purified, and they also have to perform austerities. Like before performing a puja, they may have to do with empty stomach. All this they have to fast, and they have to practice some pure life. They have to have some principles. Uh, they should not like some things, like they should follow four regulative principles. Everyone, like there are different levels, but yeah, and they have to respect brahmanas and and sadhus, and they have to hear from them. So that way the karma kanda slowly will help. Slowly they will come to realization, no, that this realization only they have to come. Like this material, the enjoyment of this world is always mixed with suffering. There is never full satisfaction, and always it entangles more and more. So then they slowly want to give up say material enjoyment, and they want to pursue nishkama. The Prabhupada is describing about chanting, means of course, Prabhupada's point is that in this age, Nishkama Karma also is very difficult in this age of Kali Yuga. So chanting is the ultimate solution. And he quotes this Aho Bata Sopcho Gariyan verse and all. Means chanting also is like performing all yajnas and all. So that Prabhupada is explaining. Okay, so Prabhupada is summarizing. So one must be intelligent enough to understand the purpose of the Vedas without being attached to the rituals only, and must not desire to be elevated to the heavenly kingdoms for a better quality of sense gratification. It is not possible for the common man in this age to follow all the rules and regulations of the Vedic rituals, nor is it possible to study all of the Vedanta and the Upanishads thoroughly. It requires much time, energy, knowledge, and resources to execute the purpose of the Vedas. This is hardly possible in this age. The best purpose of Vedic literature is served, however, by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Of course, it's not possible, but it also helps. It's not like Nishkama Karma Yoga is prohibited for Kali Yuga. It's not like that. But yeah, it's difficult. Objectively, if you see, it's difficult compared with Bhakti Yoga and others. Okay, so yeah, we'll read this verse. कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन.
Karmanya iva dikaras ते मा फलेषु कदाचन.
मा कर्म फल हेतुर्भुर्मा ते संगो स्वकर्मणि. Yes, I
कर्म
think
फला हेतुर्भुर मा ते संगस्त्व अकर्मणि.
so. The So it's again like a conversation. Now Arjuna is saying like, if I have to study Upanishads, then should I also need to practice sense control and austerity along with my duty? Krishna says no need to do. You'll get realization if you sacrifice your fruitive mentality. So if you just do Nishkama karma, means you do your duties of your varna and ashrama, you need not practice anything else to get the realization of Atmagyan. Karmanyevadhikarasya ma phaleshu kadachana. So focus on doing your prescribed duty, not on enjoying the material and external results. So focus on responsibilities but not rights. So it's like instead like no, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. So something like that. So ma karma phala heturbu. Like don't consider yourself also as the controller of your results. Because one thinks he's generating results, then it is uh, very likely that one may also develop the desire to enjoy one's results. Like yeah, the student may be very dutiful. Means generally a fruitive approach to a student is to the role of a student is that yeah I'll get good marks, then I'll promote, then so like that I'll get a good placement, then I'll enjoy life, then I can which I learn money, so then I can with that money I can buy so many things, my relatives will respect me. So and I that time I can mock my relatives who now who tease me for my not so good economic condition. So like that, different things means seeing only from a material benefit, seeing what benefit is there, but a dutiful approach is like okay, so let me learn my subjects well, and let me contribute to my country, which is a dharma, means we have to contribute to the society, so that's a dharma. So that is uh, a dutiful approach to a student. But in that also, yeah, one may have that I have very good intelligence, so that's why I'm able to always get 90 95% 95% above. So like that, one may have that controllership mentality, and by that the one may think, no, okay, now I have to show off, means he may want to tell to his relatives that he is a very good student, like that. That desires may generate if that controllership mentality conception is there. But if one says, okay, this intelligence has come by my punya, so by my punya, so I need not so it's not like my contribution, it's like my punya, so I can, this has just come. So if others also do punya, they will also get it. So it's not a big thing. That's what the thing is. You can see there are different results. Means there are different factors in giving a result. Like what instruments you have. Like you have the because the government provided me the money to purchase pro books, and the government gave me scholarship. That's why I'm able to study, and my teachers have taught me very well, so that's why, and my seniors helped me, so because of that I'm able to study. And the situation, maybe because I'm in a good school, and my parents are also cooperative, and also that's why I'm able to study, and I have good health, that's why I'm able to afford well, and like that uh, it's like that the one can analyze there are different factors contributing to the result. I am not just the contributor. So that way one can slowly overcome the controllership mentality. Okay, the translation goes like, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty. Rose, you can read the purport.
Yeah. There are three considerations here: prescribed duties,
Capricious work.
capricious work, and inaction. Prescribed duties are activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. Capricious work means actions without the sanction of authority, and inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that the Arjuna nor be inactive, but that he performs his further.
Okay. Yeah.
He performs his injunctions without desire for results is the action in the mode of
Without
goodness.
one who is
Prabhu, top of page.
one who is attached to prescribed duty without being attached to the result.
Yeah. As far as the prescribed duties are concerned, they can be filtered into three subdivisions, namely routine. Sorry, Prabhuji, 1 minute. So prescribed duty without being attached to the result. One who is attached to the results of the work is also the cause of action. Thus, he is the enjoyer or the sufferer of the result of such action. As far as the prescribed duties are concerned, they can be filtered into three subdivisions, namely routine work, emergency work, and desire activities. Routine work performed as an obligation in terms of scriptural injunctions without desire for results is action in the mode of goodness. Work with results become the cause of bondage. Therefore, such work is not auspicious. Everyone has his proprietary right in regard to the prescribed duties, but should act without attachment to the result. Such disinterested, obligatory duties doubtlessly lead one to the path of liberation.
Yeah, Arjuna was there for.
Yeah. Arjuna was therefore advised by the Lord to fight as a matter of duty without attachment to the result. His non-participation in the battle is another side of attachment. Such attachment never leads one to the path of salvation. Any attachment, positive or negative, is the cause for bondage. Inaction is sinful, therefore fighting as a matter of duty was the only auspicious path of salvation for Arjuna.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So Prabhupada is saying disinterested obligatory duties. So that is the way to the path of liberation. And Prabhupada is conveying like there is routine work. So routine work is like nitya karma. Of course, emergency work or like a situational work is like naimitika karma, emergency work like that. And desired activities is like kamya karma. Like if you see this example of Daksha and so Daksha, he gives birth to Haryashvas, then Narad Muni means Daksha sends them to do some purificatory rituals to Narayan Saras. So there Narad Muni comes and he preaches to them about detachment. So then they immediately take to the renounced daughter. Then Daksha gets frustrated. Then he gives rise to thousand sons, Shavalas also. But he sends them for their to do austerity to Narayan Saras. Then Narad Muni says no that you should if you are very sincere people, you should follow your brothers. So they also will take to renounce water. Then Daksha gets really frustrated, and Narad Muni meets him. So Daksha chastises him and all that you immaturely made them renunciate and all. So Daksha, but if you see, Daksha is not so much attached to the fruits. It's not like he wants his sons to be very purified and very dutiful grihasthas and all. He doesn't want them they should enjoy, means they should provide him so much sense gratification. That is not his approach to his sons. But he has a controllership mentality that his sons should be purified and they should become grihasthas. It's not, but they have their adhikar to become renounced. But he has that controllership mentality, so that's why he gets frustrated. In the same case with Brahmaji, uh, when he creates the four Kumaras, so he creates them so that they will assist him in his uh, in propagating for the propagation of the progeny. But they say no, we are not interested in that. So he also wants them to be very dutiful and to assist in the Lord's mission of creating progeny. But because that is Lord's order only for Brahma to create progeny for the conditioned souls to get different bodies. But they say no, we want to focus on the liberation, on salvation by on cultivating knowledge. So, but that is also Lord wants, means that also Vedas say that also can be done. So, but he is because he has that attachment, he gets frustrated. They think because they are the cause of results. No? So it is ma phaleshu kadachana. So ma karma phala hetu, because they are thinking that they are the cause of results. So that's why they got frustrated. Okay, so there are four things. Uh, so for let's take example of a student. So attachment to fruits means uh, in a materialistic way, means seeing the results, like how they can help them in their material enjoyment, like getting good marks, so you'll get prestige among the school in the school, and your parents will also be happy and they will provide whatever you want, and they may have ultimate time that they will get good job and earn money and all. So that is like material attachment. Okay, dutifulness. I'm a student, so it's my duty to learn proper knowledge, values, and all, and to contribute to the society. But controlship mentality, that no, I am only learning, I'm very excellent and all. They will have always an expectation on. They'll get frustrated if they don't get the first rank always. So that is controllership mentality. So it creates problems in that time. And irresponsibility means no, studies are too difficult. Let me just play and all. So it's like it's like irresponsibility. So now you can take maybe 6 minutes and you can think for these other roles, these four roles: as a parent, let's say as an employee, as a spouse, and in a devotional context as a preacher. So what can be attachment to fruits? What means you have to describe the attitude, and what is a dutiful attitude, and what is this controlship mentality and irresponsibility. Okay, uh, then you can think and then we'll discuss. Okay, so for the first one, for the parent who want to answer. Yes, Soni Mataji, you can answer.
Yeah, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. So in attachment to fruits, Prabhuji, sometimes the parents raise their kids with an expectation that they are an investment for their retirement plan. So they always keep imbibing this thought in them that, oh, you have to take care of us, and we are doing this because so that you will tomorrow you have to do. So with an expectation for their retirement. Then second is dutifulness. So in this, the parents raise the kids with proper samskar. They give the child the proper understanding of having the decision making capacity where he can understand what is right and what is wrong. And they will never force the child, but they will teach the child that what is right and what is wrong. They will not expect anything, but automatically these kids are born dutiful. So they will take care of all their responsibilities and ultimately they will do good.
Okay.
Next is controlled mentality. So in this, the parents are very authoritative and they will micromanage their children right from their eating habits to their making friends or to their studying habits. Whatever desires they have of their own which are unfulfilled, they will try to make those desires as a burden on their children and they will make them as a desire fulfilling machine. or sometimes they will control them mentally, they will control them physically also, they will control them financially also.
Yeah.
Last one is irresponsibility. So in this, mm, I personally feel that most of the parents today fall in this category unknowingly, because what they are doing is they are simply thinking that they will earn money and then their kids' future will be protected or secure. But in that direction, they are forgetting that these are the basic years where the child needs their presence. The child needs to be having those samskaras, those values which they have been given by their parents, and nobody externally is going to give them. So here the parents are failing, as they are not fulfilling their responsibility as a parent, but they are simply running after the material things.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is the ignorance where the parents are not in that capability to fulfill their roles, like maybe a drunkard or an
Yeah.
addict, they cannot fulfill their responsibility.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very nicely done. Shikanpra, you want to add anything?
Which I think
Can I add something?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Like even irresponsibility, they may appoint somebody to take care of their children and they want to earn more money. Yeah. Or sometimes they may think children are a burden. So they may also, for that, all in that case, also they may appoint somebody to take care, etc. Okay. Okay. For next, for employee, somebody wants. Yes, Shrikant Pro, you can answer.
Hare Krishna. So, attachment results is fruits is basically attachment to the salary that the employee is getting, or promotion and position that the employee gets. That could be attachment to the fruits. Dutifulness is basically having that attitude to serve the company, and like if I'm being paid for 8 hours, it's my duty to work and complete the things that have been assigned. Being customer centric, like how I can add value to the customers.
Yeah.
So that is more dutifulness. Controller mentality is again like expecting the team to exactly be like me, or if I'm workaholic, I expect others also to be similar, micromanage their tasks, and expect they'll respect the decision and all. Um, Irresponsibility is like not meeting the deadlines, not completing your tasks, not attending important meetings, not giving proper updates of your work. That I feel is irresponsibility.
Okay. Yes, Muskan Mataji, you want to add something?
Prabhuji, I have raised hand for the next point.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is spouse.
yeah. You can.
Should I
Yes, you
tell?
can answer. You can answer.
Okay, so
Yes.
Prabhuji, in spouse, attachment to fruit is like they both work to give and take. Like
Yeah.
if I do this for my husband, he will give me this and that.
Okay. Okay.
And dutifulness is they have to work together
Yeah.
to preach or to make their family Krishna consciousness.
Okay.
And
Yes.
controllership mentality is that uh, a wife want to control her husband and same vice versa. And irresponsibilities, they don't give time to each other and they work independently
Yeah.
and they are not contributing towards each other's spiritual lives.
Okay. Yes. 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 Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Yeah. Controlship also. Yeah. The expecting the same way the other also should practice Krishna consciousness, or they should come to a particular level of Krishna consciousness. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So for the last one, preacher, somebody wants to answer. Any new? Okay, Shrikant, you can answer.
You can try, Prabhu. Maybe attachment here to the fruits is like if we are preaching, then we expect the students to follow whatever we say, and like whenever we think that, oh, they should increase the rounds by this much time, that way attached. um, Dutifulness is that our task is to give them the knowledge, what we have received, and give them the experience that we have received, and engage them in service as a preacher. Yeah, again, controller mentalities, I think, is same as attachment to fruits. I feel that they should, yeah, having our control over them.
Yeah.
And last is that irresponsibility is like not following up with them, not like mostly that happens with me is not giving them time, not following up after initial preaching.
Yeah, nice. Okay, attachment to fruits can be know that I should have the most number of, I should preach to many devotees so that I'll get appreciation as a good preacher. Maybe I'll become a counselor, and I can be topper in book distribution. I can be topper in fund collection, like that. Yeah. Okay. And controllership also, yeah.
Guruji.
Micromanaging and chanting, yeah, that is one thing. And also expecting them to do only a particular service or to particularly focus on one thing only chanting or only reading Bhagavatam. But some they may have either it is. Yes, Prabhu, I continue. You want to add something?
Yeah, attachment to fruits should not be there. Dutifulness has to be there. Means one should be very intelligently. Preaching is a very intelligent task. One who thinks intelligently as per individuals, then he can connect to the Krishna. So controllership mentality should not be there, because that will make the person who's coming Krishna conscious will go away from it. Then irresponsibility should not be there. Tactfully, we should handle it as per the situation, circumstances. Like now, Janmashtami is there. When you suddenly, sometimes we simply after joining 1 month or 2 months or few months, we keep our brochure and then we ask for the donations and all. So donation part is also we have to handle it very cautiously. Means not to, they should not feel that only our aim is only to collect money. Our aim should be to make them Krishna consciousness, means to become, they should come to the Bhakti Marga, then donation and
Yes,
everything
yes.
will automatically come. So
Yes,
it's the
yes.
preacher's job is very important.
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Nice, nice. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Someone says now, Prabhuji, that gallons of blood is required to make someone as a devotee.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so
Thank
we'll
you, Prabhuji.
proceed for the next shloka. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya
Yogastha kuru karmani sura tyakta dhananjaya
siddha siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate.
siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatva yoga uchyate.
Okay, the translation is perform your duty equipoised, O Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. So yoga means samatvam. Samatvam among siddha and asiddhya. Okay, I'll read because we're letting running short of time. So Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever disturbing senses. And who is the Supreme is the Lord. Because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna had nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory of Krishna's concern, Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. Or yeah, in Nishkama Karma, one may think it is the destiny. The results are anyhow come with destiny. My endeavor is to put the best effort. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practiced in the Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness only one can give up the sense of proprietorship. Okay. Arjuna is Kshatriya, and as such, he is practicing in the Varnashrama Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Purana that in the Varnashrama Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself as the rule in the material world. Yeah, one should do it as a perform of a duty. Okay, so again, you can think for 4 minutes and think of these questions. So give examples of Lord Ram, how he was equiposed amidst success and failure. Like he faced many different challenges, but he was always focused on duty. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, you can get different instances, and Srila Prabhupada. And also how to come out of doership mentality. So you can think for 4 minutes, then we'll discuss. Okay. So for the first one, for Lord Ram, being equipoised between success and failure and being beautiful. Anyone else? Yes, Shrikant Pro can tell.
Even Lord Ram, when there was announcement that Lord Ram will be coronated as the king of Ayodhya,
Mm,
he was not very joyful. And when the next moment he came to know that he has to go to Vanvas.
mm,
That time also he was not very sorrowful. He always focused on being dutiful to whatever orders were of his father.
mm. And yeah, any other instance? Yes, Muskan Mataji, want to tell?
And Prabhuji, when he conquered, when Lord Ram conquered Ravan and took Sita back, then Praja or residents of Ayodhya said that now Sita will go to like Ram has to vanquish Sita.
Yeah,
Uh, so
yeah,
this story or this movement.
yeah. Basically, they had objection because she stayed with Ravana. So in that way, it's generally considered as contaminated. So that's why he vanquished Sita. And yeah, other example also, like when Bharat offered kingdom to Lord Ram also, he denied it because he has to follow the word he has given to his father. So that is also another thing. Okay. Uh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, etc.
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas at the age of 24, no?
Mhm,
And he has to leave his young wife Vishnu Priya and old mother.
mhm,
But I think he was equipoised.
mhm. Okay, you can say that. Okay.
Yeah.
Another. Okay. Anyone wants to add anything? Yeah. Yes, Prabhu, Chaitanya Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he strictly followed the duties of a sannyasi. I mean,
Okay.
taking bath
Yeah.
with cold water. Even when he was offered so many comforts, he would always
Yeah.
resist.
Yeah.
Once, Shivananda Sen, with his own hands, he had pressed oil from sandalwood and gifted it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for
Yeah.
using. But
Yeah.
he said, use it for Lord Jagannath's lamp,
Yeah.
not for me.
Yeah. Jagadanand Pandit. Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. And even actually, immediately after taking sannyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to go to Vrindavan. But yeah, then the devotees, Nityan Prabhu tricks him and all. But he was composed. He did not get unnecessarily frustrated. He accepted the desire of devotees. And yeah, even if after taking initiation also he wanted to go to Vrindavan. But the demigods told, no, your purpose is different and like that. You can go to Vrindavan later. So like that, different times. Even in Puri also he wanted to go to Vrindavan, but no, devotees told, no, no, stay. You can go at next festival. After next festival, you can go. But he always stayed. Yeah. Gaurang Prabhu says after renouncing the world, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu renounced his desire to go to Vrindavan.
Hare Bal.
He told during pandemic that
Hare
online.
Bal.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So third about Prabhupada. Yes, Soni Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. So, in Prabhupada's life, there was an incident when he was going by Jaladuta. So he had heart attack. So when he was getting down by from that ship, the captain asked him that Swamiji, what are your plans and when are you going to return back and how much money you are carrying?
Yeah.
So Prabhupada said that I'm having 40 rupees.
Yeah.
So that captain, out of sympathy or empathy, he said that I want to help you. So he said, yes, you can definitely help. How are you going to survive? Something like that he asked.
Yes.
So the Prabhupada replied, you just buy one set of my books, rest I will manage. So that shows how equipoised Prabhupada was and how surrendered he was on Krishna, that he didn't bothered about
Yeah.
what is needed for his well-being. but he
Yeah.
was still concerned that if my book sets will be gone, automatically Krishna will take care of me. So that shows
Okay.
how equipoised he was.
Yeah.
And he sold that set of book to the captain, and he just took that
Okay.
money and he said, I will manage.
Yeah. Okay, Shrikant Prabhu, you want to tell some?
Yes, so similar incident like when Prabhupada was preaching in trying to preach in India,
Yeah.
there was not much success. There were not much disciples. He tried to distribute the books and also many things with so much of vigor and enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And even like when there were so many years, thousands of disciples and so many temples all over the world, and still he had that same vigor and same enthusiasm to distribute the books and
Okay.
spread the message of Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah, in India, there are different types of failures. One is he got an invitation to a book exhibition in Japan, but he did not have the fare, and he asked the sponsor fare, can you also sponsor my fare? He told, no, I cannot sponsor. So, but still, he went on, preaching. He did not give up. Okay, it's not going to work like that, and yeah, and
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
he built a he yeah yes, you can take.
Please,
Yes.
please continue. Prabhupada was given once poison also, no?
No, that is that's not even not given poison. Okay, that's a misunderstanding and all. Okay.
Acha. And then he was equipized while teaching Ippis, na? Like he has to, they were like having so many bad habits, but he was very equipized. He was not
Yeah,
disturbed by that.
yeah,
Like they were taking drugs and all, and then
yeah,
they used to keep their meat in the same fridge where Prabhupada used to keep the prasadam and all.
yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. So a lot of inconveniences, but yeah. Again in
Yes.
India, he had that
Prabhuji, the
Jhansi.
Juhu temple event was also there, where a
Yes,
lot
yes.
of what you
Opposition,
say, yes,
opposition.
from the
Okay.
government and all, everything was coming, but still Prabhupada was very
Yeah.
determined that temple will be made here only.
Okay. Yes, Avtaricha temple.
Prabhu, the other side is also there. When Prabhupada
Yeah.
became exceedingly successful,
Yeah.
I mean, the movement was making a lot of money and
Yeah.
all of that, but still Prabhupada remained the same person. He would
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
just
Thank you.
focus on service to Krishna, translating books.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So now here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you for the nice points. Okay. Okay. Next shloka. Now,
Second question.
actually, okay. Oh, I forgot. Yes. Okay. For second question. Someone wants to answer for the second question.
Can I answer, Prabhuji?
Yes. Ma'am. Yes. You can
We
answer.
give the credit to our spiritual master, and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga,
Yeah.
and Vaishnavas, Shri
Okay.
Hari Guru.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah,
It's a good point. Yes,
by
Shrikant, you
doing
want to
that,
add?
we'll be free from the doership mentality. And Radhanand
Yes.
Maharaj says that when we want to take the credit, it agitates our mind. But when we give the credits to the others, it gives us blissfulness, happiness.
Yes. Thank you. Very nice. Yes, Shrikant Prabhu.
So one analogy that I thought of was about the cashier in the bank. When someone deposits a lot of money in the bank, he's not very happy, and when a lot of loan is taken from the bank, he is not very sorrowful because he doesn't think that it is his. He just does his duty. Similarly, that Ishavasya principle that was
Yes.
taught in Isha
Yeah.
Upanishad, that everything belongs to Krishna.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So that way, slowly, doership mentality can go. Yeah. And focusing also on the service attitude, like how one can improve the service and what mistakes are there still in the service. So focusing on more dutifulness, that is also there. Yes. And also analytically seeing, as you have told. So that is there. Okay. And also appreciating others who are doing that service better. That way. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Durena hi avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya.
Doren avaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya.
Buddho sharanamandvicha kripana falahetava.
Buddho sharanam avichha kupnam phala hetava.
So now Krishna, say till now Krishna explained Arjuna how to perform the Nishkama Karma. Like even though it is based on Vedas, so focus when doing Vedas, focus on the Atma Gyan, and for don't tolerate the dualities. So that is one thing, and don't increase material desires. And then he told, be dutiful, and don't be lazy, don't be irresponsible. So like this, different points, and also be equiposed among success and failure. So like that, Krishna gave different things. Now Krishna again, he's telling again. So that's why do this Nishkama Karma. O conqueror of wealth, actions with desire are far inferior to Nishkama Karma Yoga. Surrender to this Buddhi Yoga. So the Nishkama Karma Yoga only is called as Buddhi Yoga because a lot of intelligence is needed. Not to focus on the being dutiful, to focus on to be to get rid of the to be away means to neglect the temptations of being fruitive. So lot of intelligence is involved here. So that's why it is called Buddhi Yoga. Those who seek results from their work are wretched and receive bondage. So focus intelligence on and detachment from results. So how one focus intelligence while doing the work means like contemplation on Atma and all. So that also comes in fourth and fifth chapters also it comes. Okay. Yeah, Prabhupada is more or less explaining the same thing. We'll just read the translation. Oh, Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. In that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Yeah. Yeah. Like it's a very short-term happiness. So that's why they are called misers. Buddhi yukto jahati ha ube sukrite dushkrite.
बुद्धि युक्तो जहाति ह उभे सुकृतो दुष्कृते
Tasmad yogaya yujyasva yoga karmasu kaushalam.
तस्माद योग युज्वस्व योग कर्मासु कौशलम.
Yeah. So, so this is Yogaya Yujyasva. If you see the previous shloka, it is so. This, let me check out. So, so if you see the 2.38, so it says Yuddhaya Yujyasva. In 2.38, Krishna says Yuddhaya Yujyasva, and in 2.50, Krishna is saying Yogaya Yujyasva. Means do the work as a duty, yoga yujyasva, for the sake of connecting to the absolute truth. And yuddha yujyasva means do seeking for the sake of fighting, for the results of fighting. The translation is, or yuddha yujyasva, do it because you have to do this duty, because otherwise you will get sin. That is also more or less it is falls in karma kanda. Means out of fear of sin you are just doing your duty. That also comes more or less in karma kanda. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad karma reactions even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. So this also addresses the third reason which Arjuna gave, that he gets sinful reactions because the relative should not be killed as per the Niti Shastras. So, so one will incur sin if the relatives are killed, even if they are little aggressive. But here Arjuna, Krishna is telling, if you do your duty as a Kshatriya, then whatever your sinful reactions will be cured. Since time immemorial, each living entity has accumulated the various reactions of his good and bad work. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his real constitutional positions. One's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one surrender unto Lord Krishna in all respects and become liberated from the chain victimization of action, reaction, birth after birth. Yeah. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of resultant action. So one has to be dutiful. So by that, one's past reactions, both sinful as well as pious reactions, both will get destroyed. Sukrute and dushkrute. So now in the next shloka explains how Nishkama karma leads to liberation. Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishina.
कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः
Janma bandha vinirmukta padam gachanti anamayam.
जन्म बंध विनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्ति अनामयम्.
Being engaged in this Nishkama Karma Yoga, having given up the results of work, the realizer of Atma, freed from the bondage of birth, attain the place of no suffering. So Anamayam. Anamayam means there is no place where there is no suffering. It can also refer to Brahma Jyoti, or it can refer to Vaikuntha, or in the context of Nishkama Karma, it generally their focus will be on Brahman. So it refers to generally Brahma Jyoti, where there is no suffering. So that Brahma Jyoti also suits the criteria. That is appropriate even for Brahma Jyoti. So yeah, this sinful reactions means different things like the current suffering, and we have also sinful desires, and we have ignorance. So all these things, they get removed. Okay, Prabhupada. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great saints or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries. Yeah, Prabhupada is explaining this verse. Samashitaye padapallavakulam mahat padam punya isho mirare bhavam buddhir vatsa padam padam. So if one takes the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, they can cross over the material world as easily as the water contained in a footprint of a calf. Okay, we'll read a little bit of the purport. Owing to ignorance, one doesn't know that this material world is a miserable place where there are dangers at every step. Out of ignorance only, less intelligent persons try to adjust to the situation by fruitive activities, thinking that the resultant actions will make them happy. They don't know that no kind of material body anywhere within the universe can give life without miseries. Yeah, you see from Brahma has difficulties, Indra has difficulties. So all kinds of people have difficulties. Yeah, rich. Earlier also we discussed even a billionaire's son had difficulties of having been obesity. So everyone had difficulties. So one understands this, then one understands, okay, there is no perfect place in the universe where one can always be happy. No perfect place, perfect position, perfect situation. So then one will, based on that, one will aim for the liberation. The miseries of life, namely birth, death, old age, disease, are present everywhere within the material world. But one who understands his real constitutional position as the eternal servant of the Lord, and thus knows the position of the personality of Godhead, engages himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Yeah. Now, so in this shloka and in the before shloka, what Krishna told, first thing is the karma will get the sukruti and dushkruti, both pious reactions and sinful reactions get purified, get removed by performing Nishkama Karma Yoga. And in this shloka, what Krishna told, by performing Nishkam Karma Yoga, eventually one will be disentangled from the material world and he will reach the transcendental realm. In this context, it refers mainly to Brahmacharya. Now, Krishna in next two shlokas, he will tell here, Krishna explains about how the intelligence slowly gets purified. Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishyati.
यदा ते मोह कलिलं बुद्धिर यतति रश्यसि
Tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha.
तदा गन्तासि निर्वेदं श्रोतवस्य श्रुतस्य.
The translation: when your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. So, moha kalilam. So it's a dense forest of delusion. Means Vedas, they have lot of temptations of heavenly happiness and all. So that's what Krishna is calling. It's a moha kalilam. It's a forest of illusion. So slowly that intelligence will come out of that, conceptions will change. So Prabhupada is saying how one means slowly the fruitive activities one gives up. Through devotional service, Prabhupada is telling this prayer of one will not even worry about doing Sandhya Vandana and all. The Vedic rites and rituals are imperative for neophytes, comprehending all kinds of prayer 3 times a day, taking a bath early in the morning, offering respects to the forefathers, etc. But when one is in fully Krishna conscious and is engaged in transcendental loving service, one becomes indifferent to all these regulative principles because he has already attained perfection. But still, as somebody being in a society, they do. They do mainly for setting an example, but they may not so much see that they are needed to for their spiritual advancement. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this will, yeah. So as one stops focusing on material enjoyment results, slowly those conceptions will go back in the mind. As long as we focus on something, so that stays in our conscious and subconscious mind, in our conscious mind. But if we stop doing something for a long time, then slowly it goes away. It goes into the background. So that way, all these wrong conceptions of finding happiness in the world, so that slowly will go away. Shruti vipari vipratipanna te yada stasyati nischala.
श्रुति विप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चल
Samadhau achala buddhis tada yogam avapsyasi.
समाधव अचला बुद्धिस्तदा योगम पश्यसि.
When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, and when it remains fixed in the trance of self-realization, then you will have attained the divine consciousness. Okay, we'll read. A Krishna conscious person or unflinching devotee of the Lord should not be disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, nor be engaged in fruitive activities for promotion to the heavenly kingdom. In Krishna consciousness, one comes directly into the communion with Krishna, and thus all directions from Krishna may be understood in the transcendental state. Intelligence will not be taken. Intelligence will be fixed on the transcendental things. They will be always contemplating on the statements of Upanishads and all. So that way they will be focused on transcendence. Okay. Okay. First we will discuss this. Okay. So the intelligence, how it gets purified, the different stages is So first is like one has to consciously detach oneself from focusing on the results from the while doing his duty. Then the next step is like focusing on being dutiful. No, being equipoised, siddha, siddhyo, and all this. First is ma phaleshu kadachana, then siddha, siddhyo, then focusing on atma gyan, like no buddhi yukto jahatiha. So the buddhi has to be focused on atma gyan. So then, see, if one has to consciously practice. Initially, one is consciously incompetent, then one has to become consciously competent. Then what happens? Second is consciously unconsciously he becomes competent. So yeah, first is one is unconsciously incompetent, then one gets the knowledge, so then he becomes consciously incompetent. So then he tries to understand, learn, and he practices it. So practicing what? Practicing detaching oneself from the results and focusing on being dutiful and focusing on Atmagan. So these three things, as one practices, so he becomes consciously competent. Then later he becomes unconsciously competent. Means the intelligence automatically these topics will go in the background. That no, their desire to enjoy, that enjoying material things gives happiness. So these things will go back. So then one will naturally, like spontaneously focus on being dutiful and all. But then the higher stages, one will be in samadhi, focusing on the transcendental things. Like he sees, means when he's doing yajna, the brahmagno, brahmanahutam, this is all Brahman. This all has things have come from Brahman. And I'm offering ahuti to Brahman through this, like that. The ladle is Brahman, the intelligence of the Brahmana is Brahman, the offering of ghee is Brahman. Like that, it comes in the fourth chapter. Yeah. For a more practical example in devotional service, if you see, so let's say if somebody is doing some DT service. So then initially there may be a desire to get results, maybe get Mahaprasad and all. Also may get Brahman initiation, whatever. So some things, some motives may be there to get nice, good Mahaprasad and all. So even while, let's say, washing pots also, one may be seeing, okay, which Mahaprasad is there today, what was there in the Mangal Bhog. So then he thinks, okay, how should I ask, which pujari should I ask, and get this Mahaprasad, like that. Initial thoughts may be there, and they may want to just do the service as fast as quickly as possible and push off. So initially that kind of mentality may be there. So then they may learn through scripture and all what is service attitude. No, we should not get this, we should not look after results and all. Then they may consciously restrain themselves. Okay, I should not take this. I should not ask for Mahaprasad. Whatever Mahaprasad I get, whatever, a little bit. So that I should be satisfied. So then they slowly restrain, and then they also slowly may focus on doing the service properly, cleaning things nicely, and cleaning all the place, following all the things, and even trying to improve to increase their speed, all those things. So that they may improve, focus on that, and while doing that also they may also want to hear some lecture, and they want to focus their consciousness on Krishna also. So initially all these things may happen, and slowly they'll just forget about Mahaprasad also. Like even someday, let's say Mahaprasad is not available for those who are doing service, they may be okay. Or sometimes if they get Mahaprasad and somebody asks them, I have a guest, is it possible for you to share? They may be also happy to share it. So it's there. So their desire for Mahaprasad will slowly get, means it doesn't even come to their mind. Then as they continue to hear lectures and all, then it becomes spontaneous also. They may spontaneously sing Vaishnava songs, doing kirtan and doing service, like that. Yeah. So that is how slowly the intelligence gets purified. Okay. Okay, any doubts on till now what we discussed? about Nishkam Karma Yoga and all? Okay, there are no doubts. Okay, then we'll proceed to the Sthita Prajna section. So now Arjuna asks question about how to identify this kind of Sthita Prajna, means whose intelligence is fixed in this Atma Gyan and this transcendence. So what are the external symptoms of such a person, and how, and some more questions he asks. Arjuna Uvacha
Arjuna Uvacha
Sthitapragyasya ka bhasha samadhi stasya keshava
Sthita Prajamasya Kabhasa Samadhi Stasya Keshava
स्थितधि किं प्रभासेत किम आसीत व्रजेत किम.
Sthitadih Kim Prabhaseta Kim Asita Vrajeta Kim.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Arjuna said, "O Keshava, what is the description of the person situated in samadhi, the sthita prajna? In agitating circumstances, how will he speak? And how will he remain suppressing his senses, or how will he engage his senses?" So basically, yeah. Ka bhasha. Bhasha means characteristics. Bhasha also means what is their characteristics. Okay. And then in agitating sthitadi kim prabhaseta. Prabhaseta means how he sits, but actually it means how he responds to, how he protects his senses from being agitated in provoking situations. And then how will he engage his senses? Because the world is a world of temptations. There is temptation everywhere. So how does he engage his senses? So these are the questions. That means this is how our acharyas give the meaning. This is the symbolisms like sitting, walking, and all. O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? How does he speak, and what is his language? Which means what are his characteristics? And how does he sit? Sit means how he controls his senses when there is a temptation. And how does he walk? Means how he engages in his duties. So there is temptation everywhere. So how does he engage in his duties? As there are symptoms for each and every man in terms of his particular situation, similarly, one who is Krishna conscious has his particular nature, talking, walking, thinking, feeling, etc. As a rich man has his symptoms by which he is known as a rich man, and as a deceased man has his symptoms by which he is known as deceased, or as a learned man has his symptoms. So a man in transcendental consciousness of Krishna has specific symptoms in various dealings. One can know his specific symptoms from Bhagavad Gita. Okay, Prabhupada is explaining about the importance of speech. Most important is how the man in Krishna consciousness speaks. For speech is the most important quality of any man. It is said that a fool is undiscovered as long as he does not speak. And certainly a well-dressed fool cannot be identified unless he speaks. But as soon as he speaks, he reveals himself at once. The immediate symptom of a Krishna conscious man is that he speaks only of Krishna and of matters relating to him. Other symptoms then automatically flow. Okay. Ka bhasha means symptoms. Ka prabhasita, how will he respond to agitating circumstances? Ka asita, how will he remain suppressing his senses? Kim brajeta, how will he engage his senses? So now Krishna is explaining the first question, answering the first question, Ka bhasha, what are his symptoms? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan
Prajahati Yada Kamana Sarvana Parthamanogatan
Atmanyeva Atmani Tushta Sita Pragyasya Tadochyate.
आत्मन्य इव मना तुष्टः स्थित प्रजनस्य तदोच्यते.
Okay, so this is the first question Arjuna asked. Means initially Arjuna surrendered and Krishna explained it. Krishna actually resolved the three reasons of Arjuna, and first by giving Atmagyan, and then by explaining the Sakama Karma. So for the first question of Arjuna is that first concern is that they feel pained. So see, their Atmas. So Atma has to go through death, but the Atma will not actually feel the pain. The pain is only in the body, and after that the Atma will get a new body, and which is good for the Atma. So like that, that is the first thing. The second concern is about Arjuna's own happiness. So Krishna says your actual happiness is not by having your relatives and you can enjoy kingdom with them, but by doing your duty, you can go to heaven or you will also win the kingdom. And the third point is Arjuna is worried about the sinful reactions. So Krishna says that's what, if you do your work in a if you fight in a dutiful way, so your karma will automatically get erased based on the Atma. Yeah. So now, let's read the translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Partha, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So the man, so someone will not act on the temptations of the mind, proposals of the mind for doing sense gratification, but he focuses his mind on the Atma, means the activities of the Atma. So desire for sense gratification arising from mental concoction, sense and sense objects basis external, but possible. He gives up that and he focuses on the spiritual desires of performing his varnashrama dharma properly and all. So that he focuses. Means it is very natural for the mind to, because the senses are automatically drawn to sense objects. So it is very natural for the mind to propose enjoying them. But he rather focus on the service. Yeah, in Bhakti Yoga, you can say it is focusing on sadhana and service, but in Karma Yoga, it is like one's on duties and all. The purport, the Bhagavatam affirms that any person who is fully, a person who is not so transcendently situated has no good qualifications. Okay, let me read from you. The Bhagavatam affirms that any person, I'll read because the time is very less, who is fully in Krishna consciousness or devotional service of the Lord has all the good qualities of the great sages, whereas a person who is not so transcendently situated has no good qualifications, because he is sure to be taking refuge in his own mental concoctions. Consequently, it is rightly said herein that one has to give up all kinds of sense desire manufactured by mental concoction. Artificially, such sense desires cannot be stopped, but if one is engaged in Krishna consciousness, then automatically sense desires subside without extraneous efforts. Therefore, one has to engage himself in Krishna consciousness without hesitation. Yeah, so if one is focused, if the Atma is focused in the Atmaiva, means the first Atma refers to mind. Intelligence. So intelligence has two choices. One is to follow the propositions of the mind, or intelligence can follow the duty, means the focus on the duties of the soul. So if the Sthita Pragya means one who has a fixed intelligence, he focuses on the duties of the soul, not the propositions of the mind. Yeah, if we take the example of Giriraj Maharaj, so he was tempted by a prostitute, but he focused on being a proper disciple of Prabhupada, and he, rejected that proposal. Okay. So yeah, now two more characteristics Krishna is explaining. Dukkeshu anudvigna manaha sukeshu vigataspruha
दुःखेषु अनुविघ्नः मनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः
वीतराग भय क्रोध स्थितधिर मुनिरुच्यते.
वीतराग भय क्रोध स्थितधीर मुनिर उच्यते.
So the first shloka talks about the internal temptations of mind. Now the second shloka is talking about the external situations, which are also tempting. It is the translation: one who is not disturbed in mind even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger. This is called a state of steady mind. So dukkeshu means the three types of material miseries: Adhyatmic, Adibhautik, and Adidaivic. All three types of miseries. So what he considers them? He considers them as his prarabdha karma. So in that way, he will not be disturbed. Sukeshu. So if some disease came, or if somebody insulted him, so he thinks, okay, maybe I might have insulted somebody in my previous life. So like that, he goes on. Sukeshu, so comforts, opulences. He does not get carried away. He considers them as, because of his, also as prarabdha karma. Because of some pious deeds, I got it. So, and he tries to use them in performing his dharma. Vita raga. So because he is seeing them as uh, the result of his prarabdha karma, and not he's not seeing his opulences or something as object of enjoyment, so he will not develop attachment. So he will see, okay, let's say for example food, he sees that it is a necessity of the body, he doesn't see it as an object of enjoyment. With a bhaya, and he will not be fearful of old days or something. He says, it's, I just have to do my duty in whatever situation it is. And krodha, he will not have expectations of results, so he will not be frustrated. Okay. The word muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to a factual conclusion. It is said that every muni has a different angle of vision, and unless a muni differs from other munis, he cannot be called a muni in the strict sense of the term. Nasha vrishir yasya matam na bhinnam. But a Sthita Dhir Muni, as mentioned herein by the Lord, is different from any ordinary Muni. So the Sthita Dhir Muni is always in Krishna consciousness, for he has exhausted all his business of creative speculation. He is called Prashanta Nishesha Manoratantara, or one who has surpassed the stage of mental speculation and has come to the conclusion that Lord Sri Krishna Vasudeva will. So there's so he has a fixed understanding of the truth, and the Muni speculates on the Sitadir Muni speculates on how to see the truth in this particular situation, like how to apply the knowledge of Atma in this particular situation. But other speculators they have different conceptions of who are they, and who is the ultimate reality, and that keeps on changing by their reading different scriptures, by discussing with different people. So they don't have a fixed conception of what is the absolute reality and what is our real identity. But a Sthitadir Muni, he has that, and he, in different situations, he thinks about how to apply that knowledge in that particular situation. But that also needs thinking. So that is there. Okay. Now, so one kind of situation is happiness and distress. Another is relationships and affection and aversion. So that yes, ya sarvatra nabi snehas tat tat prapya shubha shubham
सर्वत्र नाभिस्ते हस्ततप्राप्य शुभाशुभम्
nabhinandanti na dveshti tasya prajna pratishthita.
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तास्य प्रजन्य प्रतिष्ठिता.
In the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. He has general affection for all, but not specific affection based on material calculations. Yeah. So he generally affectionate for everyone. Means he sees everyone as Atma, and he sees everyone Atma has to be, follow the dharma, and they have to evolve spiritually. So he sees him that way. He doesn't say, okay, this person gives me material comfort, so I should be more affectionate for him. This person hates me, so I should be averse. Not like that. He does not praise or flatter those who appreciate and offer gifts. He does not hate or oppose those who criticize and create trouble. There is always some upheaval in the material world which may be good or evil. One who is not agitated by such material upheavals, who is unaffected by good and evil, is to be understood to be fixed in Krishna consciousness or fixed in transcendence here. So that is called as samadhi. Yeah, we discussed about Prabhupada, that how Prabhupada was unaffected. Like earlier, many people insulted him, and like when he was in Jhansi, he had got in donation a place. So he had many plans and all, but again that place was taken away by some political things. But Prabhupada went on trying some another thing. But let's say after Prabhupada got so much success and all, he did not want to take revenge on these people. He did not do all that. So one hippie also attacked Prabhupada and was about to kill him. Prabhupada had to run for his life. But he did not, like Prabhupada, after he got different disciples, he wanted to take revenge on him. So did not do like that. Okay, this we don't have time. Okay, this will take me. This will take time. Okay, now time has gone. Yeah. So now the first question of Arjuna is answered. That what are the symptoms of a Sthita Pragya? So Krishna explained how he responds to internal temptations given by the mind, and how he responds to different situations that are sometimes happy and sometimes sorrow. He sees them as prarabdha karma and all. And he also then the relationships and affection and aversion. So he does not get materially attached and doesn't become materially averse. And he sees them, if we paused, seeing them again as a karma. So these are the one answer to that. What are the characteristics of a Sthita Pragya? So then next, how he controls his senses, and how he controls and responds to provoking situations. So that we'll discuss tomorrow. So mostly by next Saturday we'll complete this chapter, second chapter, which is very big. And okay, and one more thing, like next Sunday, who all have service, or how many of you can attend the class, or like, can you raise hands? Someone has service.
We have service.
Yes, bro. So okay, 2 are there. Any more? Yes.
I'm not sure, Prabhuji, about me.
Okay. Okay, take care. Maybe then we'll ask for a poll, maybe on at some point in the week. Then we'll accordingly take decision. Okay. If good number of devotees have service, then fine. On Sunday we'll not have class. Next Sunday. Yes, Shrikant, you want to say something? Okay. ठीक है. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad
Jai.
Gita ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams. Very good.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat